Hi everyone, Cheryl here. I hope you're all alright. Welcome to another video. Today is Friday the 17th of October 2025. Well, this is not the first video I recorded in the last couple of days. In fact, I recorded one for my channel 2 days ago. And when I was transferring it over, the video from my camera to the computer, I wondered why it was such a big file size. It was over 5 gigabytes. And then when I pressed play, I found out why. I'd only gone and recorded everything in slow-mo, so I'm going to have to do it all again. Isn't that wonderful? I'd like to say you got me twice, but I'm sorry, you haven't. That is just useless. It's going to go in the bin. Right, I have a finished object to show you. I did have another one 2 days ago, but it went somewhere. But I could show you a picture. But the first thing I'm going to speak of is, I mentioned it in my last video, the Sonder Shawl, and the pattern I followed the tutorial on Expression Fibre Arts, YouTube channel. And it's only a 2-row repeat, so if you nip along there, and what I'll do, I'll put the link in the description, and you can go and take a look at it. But this is it. I'll also put pictures up there and move across a bit. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that, because I can move myself across in editing. I'll put the picture up there of when it's on the blocking mats, and a picture up there following that of when it's on the model. But here it is in person. And my wingspan, my arm wingspan just doesn't do it justice, because I'm rather small. Well, I think anybody would be. I don't know a human being who has a wingspan of this. I don't even know what it is. Somebody asked me how big it was, and I said, I don't know, I'll have to measure it, and I still haven't done it. Mind you, they only asked on Thursday, and I haven't picked it up since 2 days ago. So that's that. Isn't that lovely? All those lovely colours. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I dropped that, sorry. And that is going to be for my mother-in-law for Christmas. And I will tell you what yarn it is. I'm going to have to fold it nicely. I can't just leave it in a heap. Right, this yarn here, it's called, let's move it around a bit, Knit Me, Crochet Me. It's by Stylecraft, and it's double knitting. And it's 80% premium acrylic and 20% wool. 290 metres or 317 yards, and I used 2 of these for that. The next thing I can't show you in person because it's gone. Right, it was, let me tell you what it's for. It's called a trauma TED, and it's for Blue Light Babies appeal for the Fife Fire Service. I had to slow down saying that, otherwise I'd get all tongue-tied. And my friend was going to send a couple off, and I told her I'd finished it. Now, in my mind, it's finished when I've knitted it. It's just the rest of the stuff you have to do with it to make it complete, which is stuffing it. I mean, I could have stuffed it. I've got stuffing in there somewhere. And then sewn its face on, you know, like a French knot for the eyes, and do some stitching for the nose and mouth. I could have done that, and then cinched its neck in. Ow, strangled the... Well, when you see the picture of it there, you can see what I mean. You have to cinch the neck in, and then sew its legs up. So in my mind, I'd finished it, and I was having a bit of grumble saying, I don't like the complete finishing. So she offered 2. She said, if you bring it in on Thursday, I can finish it off, and then I'll send the couple off that she's got going. Yeah, she's got 2 going to the destination. I said, okay then. So that's why I no longer have it in my person, but I will put the picture of it there while it's flat. And that's what it looks like flat. And my husband said, is that a Space Invader? I said, no, it's not a Space Invader. And I didn't tell him what it was, because I thought I was going to finish it. Maybe my friend will take a photo. This next thing I'm going to show you is not actually mine, but I did have involvement in it. So I'll just show you one thing. This is square, knitted square. I didn't knit this. Corner to corner, okay? one of my friends from Knitting Natter asked me to sew her blanket together. And I've had this in my possession for so long that the bag it came in has now, it's falling apart, the plastic bag. But this is 5x8 squares, and she's picked some lovely colours. And I'll move it up so you can see all of them. Sorry about that, jigging it around and everything. It's like there, right. So, as with everything, I'm going to do a bit of critique. As you can see here, it was that way, knitted edges. And when I knit one of those, I realised, I don't like that. Now, I wonder if I've got one to hand. This is one I made, for a blanket ages ago, a long time ago. Actually, no, it wasn't. This was not one of the leftovers. This is one I was teaching my other friend to slip the first stitch purlwise, because look what happens to the edging. Isn't that beautiful? If you slip the first stitch purlwise, you're going to get such a neat edge to work into, and it looks so similar to the top of a crochet edge, yeah? And you can crochet it together. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, yes, I wanted it to be like that. But I did it anyway. I managed to crochet it together. That's a zigzag crochet join. And then I did, I think it was 2 rounds of single crochet, 2 rounds of half double crochet, and then the crab stitch. Did all that edging. So I didn't know if she was going to come into Knitting Natter on Thursday, and she did. So that's why I didn't bring it with me. I said, "Are you in any time next week?" And she went, "Yes." I said, "Oh, is it okay if I nip round? I've got something for you. I've got a surprise for you." And she went, "Oh, what?" I said, "Well, you need to be sitting down." And I think she will, because I've had it for so long. I think she's forgotten it exists. So I'm going to take it round to her on Monday afternoon. But what was that? Yeah, the other thing. Now, this isn't her fault. This is the instructor's fault. The idea is if you if you're working on DK weight yarn, 4mm needles, I think the instructor said you work up to 46 stitches. I think that's what she said. Don't quote me on that, but a particular number. The problem was, which I found, was this. I assume this is Starcraft Special DK, because I think that one is. Because I had the ball band somewhere. I don't have the ball band anymore. So I think that's what that one is. But I've no idea what this one is. But it's a bit thicker. So with the same amount of stitches to work towards, this ended up being a little bit bigger than these squares. That was so frustrating. So really, you should go by centimetres. It's so much easier. Unless you're definitely making out of all the same yarn, in my opinion. Okay, so if you're making it all out of them, same amount of stitches. If you're making it all out of this yarn or any other yarn, it's the same amount of stitches. But when you try to combine them, you're going to see a difference. So that was a bit of a headache, and that's why I put it down in a huff for a while. I know, I'm terrible. Right, the last thing I'm going to show you is a new work in progress. And I'll pull it out now. I'm working on this, I'll speak properly, at Knitting Natter. And it is, I've taken my time doing this, you know. It's a virus shawl. Finally, I'm starting to make a virus shawl. I mean, how many years has this pattern been out? I've had it for ages, but luckily I'm on the pattern repeats now, so I only need the chart. But if you've ever seen the chart, it's a black and white thing. And on the right-hand side, on one of these, on the right-hand side of the piece of paper I'm talking about, so you'll be looking at it somewhere towards the beginning on one of these things, it has you working, it looks like there's a gap, and when you count the double crochets, it's 9 of them into this space. But that's not the case. It really isn't. It should be 10. But I think there's a big enough gap. But I think whoever wrote it or designed it on the computer, I don't know how those charts are done. The ink didn't show up. So I think that's why there's a gap there. But if you know the pattern anyway, you've got no problems. But that's it. And isn't that beautiful? And that is actually the same type of yarn, Knit Me, Crochet Me, and it's just a different colour. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, and it's growing very well. I've only started on it a couple of weeks ago. Now, I'd followed Woolpedia's videos to begin with while I was learning the pattern. And then after I watched was it 4 or 5 of them? Can't remember. I thought, yeah, I can do the chart now, no problem. So I'm really happy with that. And that's all for this episode. And I will come back and I'll show you this when it's finished. All right, everyone. Do you know, it's been lovely to speak with you again. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you're working on. That'd be lovely. And take good care, everyone. Bye-bye.